Is peace an obtainable reality? Can strife be minimized through communication with each other and with God? On February 1st and 2nd, 1994, at Kirpal Ashram, Delhi, India, major religious and spiritual leaders from around the world met to pray and meditate together.
This dialogue here today has been purposely called a spiritual dialogue because we don't want to limit it to the level of verbal communication. We want to go beyond that. We would like to reach a state of communication which is coming from the heart, reaching the hearts of others, coming from the depths of a soul and reaching not only other souls in creation, but the whole soul, God, who is within each and every one of us.
A Jewish rabbi from the Netherlands and a Muslim advocate from the Supreme Court of India shared their prayers.
אבינו ואמותינו שבשמיים, מקור כל הברכות, חזקנו ואמצנו בזמן הקדוש לעשות רצונך בלבב שלם. Our Father and our Mother in heaven, source of all blessing, give us the strength to do your will.
अच्छा लगता है ला कलाम मेहरबानी रहमत शोहरत उम्र भर तेरे कदमों से लगी रहेगी मैं सदा खुदावन के घर में सुनूकत करूंगा. He is most compassionate, most kind, and I am overwhelmed with a feeling to find how kind and merciful he can be.
Those people who come to help other religions, I bow to them. As we connect with the divine light within ourselves, then we are connecting with goodness. I would like to congratulate each of you for being here. We should have more gatherings like these because when we all get together in the name of God, goodness starts to radiate from us.
I would like to perhaps preface this by an invocation towards the one whose body is the physical universe, whose mind works through transpires through our thinking, whose emotion we feel when we glorify, or we respond to his love by glorifying him, her, whose presence sometimes overwhelms us and unifies us, and whose being in its ultimate absolute transcends anything that we could ever possibly grasp.
Christians, Sufis, Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims, and Jews sat together, prayed together, and meditated together.
Please don't think that we're beginning now. Feel that this is an eternal current of light out of which all of the universes appear, into which all of the universes disappear. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Open your palms in prayer. It's an Islamic gesture, if you feel comfortable with it, the gesture of total receptivity.
for the first time in recent years, we have had an inter-religious retreat on a very specific topic. And the topic is to explore in a spiritual dialogue the connection, the relationship between prayer, meditation, and non-violence. Something has happened in India in the last 2 days that hasn't happened in 100 years. We prayed together, we meditated together, and I hope we began the process of non-violence.
Over the following 4 days, the 7th World Religions Conference convened. It took place in several locations: the historic Red Fort, Shiri Fort Auditorium, and Kirpal Bagh. The conference began with a peace march which led past a church, a mosque, 2 temples, and a gurdwara. Religious leaders from different faiths moved together through the streets of Delhi, paying respect to each place of worship, a symbolic gesture of regard for all religions. The crowd repeatedly cried out, "Ekbano, Nekbano," which means, "Be one, do good."
Our hosts have been kind enough to take this initiative and bring us to this march from many thousands of miles all over the world. This march is a step from a long march that has long, many thousand years ago, that will continue in search for the good, for the love, for the compassion that you have shown today, that you carry with you, and that you will carry and give the message to the rest of the world. God be with you. Thank you.
Truly, we have walked together and prayed with our feet. May we continue this march for peace in every corner of the earth, so we as brothers and sisters will meet each other on the cause of peace, and the world will stop bloodshed and anger.
Okay, this is a world, one world, in which we all live. And there is one God. We can call him by any name, whether we call him Vaheguru, whether we call him Allah. These are all names of the same creative power of God. And we are all his children.
Sant Rajinder Singh, President of the World Fellowship of Religions, presided over this conference. Among those gathered were Catholic Archbishop Alan Laspick, former President of India, Gyani Zail Singh, Orthodox Metropolitan of Delhi, Dr. Paulos Mar Gregorius, Chairman of the International University of Peace, Potsdam, Berlin, Uwe Morawitz.
We came here from many parts of the world. We came here because we received a letter or a fax, or somebody said to us to come to this meeting. But it is not the letter or the fax or that friend who brought us here. There's something else behind that letter, behind that fax, behind that friend who asked us to come here. It is God. I don't believe in chance. God brought us here.
Participants of the event attempted to define the problems facing humanity, problems that separate us from one another. Speakers addressed the many challenges facing our age, and in particular, the challenge to bring about a spiritual renaissance for the next millennium.
This is a tremendous opportunity. This is a glorious time to be alive, because the human race itself now is at a crucial crossroads in its long and tortuous history on this planet. We are moving into a global society, and yet the global consciousness that is needed to support and sustain this society is not yet forthcoming. We have to seek within us the divine.
Suppose the purpose of different major religious traditions is helping humanity try to increase harmony, friendship, peaceful. And then if the different religious tradition, in the name of different religious tradition, you see, they increase problem, or some, you see, the tragic things happen. That's extremely, you see, sad.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could put that which separates us from our fellow man down and realize who we are? Separate from yourself that which separates you from your fellow human beings. Because the very same thing that separates us from our fellow human beings separates us from God.
It is quite clear, even family level or community level, where more compassionate atmosphere there, that community, the member of that community is much happier. Where the lack of human compassion, human tolerance, that community face more problem. That is clear. So therefore, we really need human compassion and human tolerance.
The love which is sleeping in each and every one of us, which is lying dormant in each and every one of us, it is awakened by non-violence. Non-violence which is not limited only to humans, but non-violence which goes far beyond that, to animals, to plants, to insects, and to each and every living form When non-violence comes in the presence of violence, when violence is going on and we want to be non-violent, then with joy in our hearts, non-violence sacrifices itself and lets its blood flow. First, there has to be sacrifice. If we don't have any sacrifice, there can't be any non-violence. If we don't have any sacrifice, there can't be any love. If we don't have any sacrifice, we cannot be a true human being.
Is it possible to practice universal tolerance? Helping or serving can be a way of developing tolerance toward others. In this spirit, during the conference, hundreds of thousands of people were served free meals by volunteers.
In 1993 was a very significant year in the history of the interfaith movement. It marked the centenary of the world's first major interfaith gathering in Chicago. And many of us, in fact most of us here, were in Chicago in September 1993 when the World Parliament of Religions was held there exactly 100 years later. It was in Chicago that Swami Vivekananda made his dramatic debut. It was in 1893 that after 14 years abroad, Sri Aurobindo, the great mystic and scholar and saint, came back to India and started his work. It was in 1893 that Paramahamsa Yogananda, who took the Self-Realization Fellowship to the West, was born. And today we are gathered here in connection with the birth centenary of a very great saint, Sant Kirpal Singh Ji Maharaj, 100 years ago.
Sant Kirpal Singh was the founder president of the World Fellowship of Religions in 1957 and president of the first Unity of Man Conference in 1974. In the East, he is considered the father of the human unity movement.
If we were an astronaut looking at the Earth from a distance, and I recall maybe a son who said that, you look back down into the Earth and we see one Earth, one planet. We don't see a lot of frontiers and divisions. We see one planet. But we need to find within that diversity the unity that brings us all together, which is love.
Adorable presence, thou who art within and without, above and below, and all around us, thou who interpenetratest every cell of our very being, thou who art the eye of our eyes, the ear of our ears, the heart of our hearts, the mind of our minds, the very breath of our breath, the very life of our life. Bless us, dear God, that we may be aware of Thy presence now here.
A poet saint, Sant Darshan Singh, wrote, "When the flowers of the church, mosque, and temple gather together, spring will blossom forth in your garden, O Lord."
And before I leave, I just want to ask God's blessing on you, on us. If you please, let me do that. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He turn His countenance on you and give you His peace and His love. May God make you instruments of peace, of love, and reconciliation. Amen.
The truth is one, but we are describing in different ways. Everywhere sparkle of light. When you are thinking light, when you have love of light, then how it is possible you can divide that this is a Arabic light, Sanskrit light, or Punjabi light. Light is light, love is love. We are one. There is no any difference. There is no any division.
Let us recognize Thee in all Thy holy names and forms, as Rama, as Krishna, as Shiva, as Buddha. Let us recognize Thee as Abraham, as Solomon, as Zarathustra, as Guru Nanak, as Christ, as Muhammad, and in many other names and forms known and unknown to the world. I would say that the unity of religions is the last chance for the planet to survive. Find the essence of your religion in your contact with God directly. And there you will find in the peace, as you turn within, your spiritual experience is the most important part of your religion. It is the perfume. And then spread that perfume.
Once you experienced the value of religions, once you experience more inner tranquility through religious meditation or practice, then it automatically develop a sense of the realization of the value of other religions also. So now, like our meeting here, the people from different religious traditions come together, exchange, not only different tradition, but also they exchange personal inner experiences. Through that way, we really, we can really develop some kind of mutual respect, mutual understanding.
I am pledging support of thousands of people, from parliamentarians and spiritual leaders, to further this claim and call for love, spirituality, prayer, to be really the face of God in this earth.
I would like to request the great religious leaders that we have here to ask the followers to take steps to unite. You know, when we are leaders, it is our responsibility to make sure that our followers are united. They can understand others. It is only by cross-fertilization of thought that we do understand others. And as we would unite, the conflict, the bigotry, and the hatred that we have will end up in unity, in love, in harmony, and in non-violence. A lot of times in life we have to start alone, But as we invert, as we go within, as we find the power of God within ourselves, as we connect with the power of God, we're not alone. God is with us. And as we start, many, many people start to join us.
So what is common for all religions? They all have a form of prayer and meditation. Therein may lie our hope, a key to realize human unity and peace. According to Sant Rajinder Singh, prayer is when we talk to God. Meditation is when we listen to God. The message of the conference may be summarized in this light. The way of communicating with God is through prayer and meditation, and, quite remarkably, the way of achieving unity and peace may also be through prayer and meditation.
From the Aboriginal homeland to the rainforest tribes, from native people everywhere who managed to survive, and the story from the Wailing Wall is the same one Mecca tells, that there will be no peace until we find it in ourselves, and there is one word